Well, I think, Paul, a lot of people thought that had 0-0 written all over it from quite a long time before the end, so a real bonus to get that one right, get the goal right at the end of the game.
Yeah, I mean, in fairness, looking at the pitch prior to the game as well, I mean, I mean, the groundsman came up to see me and apologised in terms of the state of the pitch. They just couldn't get on it after the game Tuesday. It may have looked okay from the stand, but trust me, on the pitch itself, it's very bobbly, very, very wet. And they were saying even at 10, 11 o'clock, the game was in doubt. So it was never going to be a fabulous game of football on that pitch. You know, we felt, to be honest, that a 0-0, like you said, was going to be the result. But when you hang in there and you keep doing the right things and you keep believing, you know, it was they're probably the best moments in football. We talk about the 90 and the 10, with today's in that 10% because you get a last-minute winner, and you come away from a really tough place with 3 points.
Because Craig had one very similar a couple of minutes earlier, hadn't he?
Yeah, not quite close in perhaps, but yeah, I mean, Tom Bolinara's come on and cut one back and he's put it straight in the keeper's hands. But obviously this one with Brett again, but Williams was exceptional today. Won all his headers, worked really hard for the team. And he's obviously cut it back, and this time Eastie from probably 7 or 8 yards just put it in the corner, and the keeper had no chance.
Decent debut for Williams with Iyengar alongside him as well. Were you pleased with the way that went?
Yeah, as I said, in the context of it being a difficult game, we played a front three today. So obviously Brett through the middle with Jonah on the left and Brandon on the right, trying to get up and support them, which I felt we did as much as we could. The midfield three, I thought Beautyman and Eastman worked really hard, and obviously Kenny in behind them, sort of keeping us ticking over. So I think the key bit to me was our back four today.
Yeah, I thought we were outstanding.
I thought the whole of the back four was outstanding. You know, obviously Bales just comes into positions for me, and I don't think he got beat once against a very good winger in Keisler. I must admit, when I saw him back on the team sheet, I was a bit, because he is their best player. But you know, they're a very well structured side. They got some big back four as well, and Brown and Clark. And it's not, you know, they're not an easy side to actually score against. So from this, you know, from our perspective, to go and get the win was fabulous.
And I've mentioned the goalkeeper as well, because his handling in a difficult situation at times, 2 or 3 times, was outstanding, I thought.
Well, you know, Butler's been outstanding for us for a long, long time. As I said, you can count mistakes on your fingers. He's a good striker of the ball. And, you know, we've had 2 very good goalkeepers in Ross Warner and Jamie Butler. And as I said, I think for nearly 18 months now, you know, Jamie, you judge a goalkeeper mainly by, you know, what mistakes, you know, you feel they've open mistakes they've committed. And as I said, they're very few and far between. Mentally, very strong, Jamie, as well. Believes in himself, believes in what he's about. But, you know, good performances all round. As I said, you'd want more from 2 of the front 3 at times, but you don't always get that on pitches and days like this. So, as I said, it was the men who came to the fore today. And again, you know, Brad Pearce, 19, clean sheet, you know, and outstanding. I made a point to him when he come off the pitch. His shirt and his socks and shorts were virtually, he didn't have a spot of mud on them. And that to me shows, we'll go back to the Bobby Moore days, as someone who stays on his feet and doesn't overcommit. But yeah, him and Jamie at the moment, as I said, looked good, and I thought the 2 full-backs helped them enormously.
What was the issue just before half-time? Was it looked as Dean Beckwith was about to come on?
Yeah, so Nicky had felt his thigh in training on Tuesday. He felt it again during the first half, right at the end. So we were looking at what we were going to do, and then Nicky said, "Look, I'll get to half time." And then during half time, he had treatment, and he's just managed to carry on through. But it was a close one. We were looking at it pretty closely for the last sort of 45, 50 minutes. That's for sure.
But it allowed you to make the more attacking substitutions near the end.
Yeah, I always wanted to get Darren on the pitch with his pace. You know, as I said, we've got to be a bit patient with Darren. Haven't had 11 minutes in about a year since he joined us, but I know what the kid's going to bring to this football club. And as I said, it won't always necessarily be in the first 3 or 4 weeks of him joining. But he's a real threat on the ball and in behind. And as I said, when we get Darren properly fit and more comfortable in the group, you know, he's going to be a good player for us.
Good to see Bollarimwe back as well.
Massive for us, you know. You think we've lost Tommy Wright and Tom Bollarimwe for most of the season. When Tom has played, he's not really been fit to play, in my opinion. So he's gone away. He's worked really, really hard for a month on all the things that he needed to do, and he's come back and he feels like ready to go. So getting Bollarimwe back, Jonah Younger back as well, I think that was important. And you know, obviously with Darren McQueen there, it gives us more bodies. I looked at the bench today and thought it looked a better bench than it has done previously in the last sort of month. But you know, we're also right at the end of hopefully bringing in a real quality forward for this level. Hoping to get that over the line Monday or Tuesday. But that's important that he comes in, give us a real presence up front. And as I said, it's you know, you can see what we're trying to do, bringing in the 3 younger ones through the academy, sort of mixed in with some good good National League players.
One who wasn't there today, Charlie Clough. Missing what's the latest with him?
Yeah, so I mean, this has been ongoing for a couple of weeks really. Charlie's had a very good offer from Brunei to play in the Singapore League. It meant he quadrupled, to be honest, his money that he was earning here, and it's all net. There's no tax out in Brunei, and you know, he asked me after the Gateshead game on the train whether we would consider letting him leave. And again, as a football club, we think we try and do the right things for the players as well. And one of those decisions was to let Charlie go to Brunei. He's been there last week. He's had a very good offer, contractual offer, but the club does receive, you know, a fee for Charlie as well on the back of it. So, you know, with the emergence of Brad Pearce, which is important to make sure he gets his chance, and obviously with Dean Beckwith being back fit, it makes it easier to stomach. As a club, we didn't want him to go, but on a personal level, it was the right thing for him. But with Charlie going, it does give me the funds to bring in the striker that I've been looking to bring in. It's someone that I wanted to get for some time, and you know, as you know, the club wouldn't have been able to be in a position to bring anybody in without one or two going out. So, whilst it's disappointing, and it is disappointing, it's the right thing for Charlie, and I hope, you know, as I said, it gives more opportunities to Brad. Dean Beckwith's a more than good enough centre half to come in for Jamie or Brad if they get injured. But it does allow me to bring in this, hopefully bring in this striker who shook my hand on it over the weekend. And you know, as I said, we're hoping to have him in for Boxing Day.
Brilliant. Well, thanks, Paul. It's been a great afternoon today. Happy Christmas.
Yeah, Mo, I'll just add again, you know,
Supporters.
3 days before Christmas to see, you know, as many as we had up here today, but vocally again, fantastic support. The lads were talking about it in the game at the end, and brilliant, you know, quite brilliant support from the boys again in that stand. So, you know, big thank you, and to everybody out there, have a fantastic Christmas, and we'll see you on Boxing Day in a good mood, I hope.
Brilliant. Cheers, Paul. Thank you.